ID and so the agenda for today concept, how to create the users, how to assign the roles and authorizations, then how to get the authorization objects. Suppose if I go in deeply, then so why security is important for SAP systems here. So anybody can chime in why the security security is required for the SAP systems. Normal, not only SAP systems, your mobile devices are so wherever any devices, why security is required. Anyone? Okay. So it's a to protecting the data, right? In SAP, we have the financial data, maybe sales data for so whatever the data, the business will save it, right? Business will do the transactions. To protecting the data, protecting the SAP data applications from unauthorized use. So even mobile phone also we have the data. Why? Because unauthorized usage, so we can protect our data, applications, personal information, data, and access here. That's why we have the access here. SAP offering different tools, process, and measures for security checks to protect the data. Right? We have the multiple layers. We have the access. While log into the remote server, you have the user ID password. Then while log into the SAP system, you have the user ID password. Right? So something you are accessing, they need a user ID and password. Right? Definitely, if you are accessing the DB, you need a user ID password. So everything you need a user ID password here to protecting the data here, insiders and outsiders here. Insider also we have the we have to protect the data, right? And also roles and responsibilities, right? So to protecting the data, we need this one here, right? SAP have different tools and process and measures to protect this data here. SAP, so and also to providing this protect to providing the user ID and password that helps to ensure only the respective user only use the functionalities of SAP, not the outside of as per job. Suppose we have the basis team. So if we have the wider role, we can also do the developments, we can also do the car security, and we can also do the functional teams and everything. But it's not the duty, it's not our duty here. So basis team means only basis person will do the basis person will do the basis related activities and everything. Security means only security person will do the security related activities, right? So which means security person will go and do the development, right? So we need to restrict it. Then that's why we need to create the roles in the systems here as per their job. We need to create the jobs in why? Because in SAP systems contain very sensitive and confidential data, right? Client related and business related client confidential data available in the business systems, right? Hence there is a regular audit for external audit will run in our SAP systems here. Regular audit will run in the SAP systems here. So to check the financial data and security data and everything, there it is. It will run. So for this one, so we need to perform the all those. We need to have a proper roles and responsibilities are enough here required to perform these activities or to protect the data. So suppose during the auditing, it noticed that you are the basis guy, you perform the security related activities also means there is a violation, right? So as per the regardless our job, we need to perform the respective task only, right? And also we need to protect the systems also. You need to protect the system means you need to protect in the client data and the confidential data we are protecting here, right? So that is the one thing here, right? So the concept in the security, we have the GRC security and BPM trust security. We have the high level concepts also there, but we are not going to the high level. Why? Because we are not the security guys. We are only basis administrators here, right? So here to perform the basis administrators here, so what we have to do? So we need to know some of the transaction codes like SE01 for users creations, right? User creation, single user creation, or so lock or unlock, so or delete, so or so password reset, all the things we can do it in the SU01 transaction code here, right? And SU10, this is for the mass users creation, mass user creation here. SU10 here, mass user creation here. So PFCG, that is the role creation, role. Role means role will tell you what activities we have to perform and everything. Why? Because in the role, we will provide the authorizations. So that will tell you what authorizations, what role you are, what this role is assigned to the which person. Only that person will provide you the here roles and roles concept. In SAP, we have the roles concept, roles and authorizations concept here. Suppose if you are the one user, we need to assign that to the one user, role assigned to the user, then the user will only perform the respective things in the SAP system here. Respective things he will perform in the SAP system here, right? So why? Because based upon the role only here. That's why the security team, as soon as you build the system, security team will create the roles and they will assign the authorization objects. So all those things they will take care of this one here. All those things they will create it in the systems here. They will create in the systems here. So, and also we have the roles concept and authorization objects concept. So we can also log the WZ5. So we can also lock all the users, lock and unlock the all the users here, unlock the all users in the SAP systems here, right? And also we have the so authorization objects concept here, authorization objects concept and the roles concept, authorization objects, the roles concept, how to find out the authorization objects, so roles concept. So only one user, how to restrict the access here. So there are the lot of things are there in the security. There are the lot of things are there in the security here, right? So there is a authorization objects here. So if you go to the SU21, SU20, SU21, so we can find out the authorization objects here, the particular authorization objects, right? So at that authorization object, we have to assign to the so role, that role we have to assign to the users. So there the many things are there here, right? Authorization objects and everything here. So let's go with the one by one. Suppose if you are the role, he is the user. So this user, you can, this is the role, right? So user, one user, that user, one user is joining means this user is related to the, so which department is the security or the basis user. It is the basis means we have the roles are there here. So security will create the multiple roles in the systems here. Security will create the multiple roles in the system here based upon their designation, multiple roles they will create it. The one new user is joining means new user you are creating means, so based upon this thing only, you need to assign this role to the user here. So that whatever the in the role, whatever the transaction codes, whatever the authorizations mentioned, this user can only perform the that related things he can perform it here. Only that related activities he will perform it here. Suppose example, let's see. Let me try to create the one user now in the SU01 transaction code here. So right, see here. When I'm trying to create the one user, I am unauthorized to use it here. When I'm trying to use this one, I'm unable to use the transaction code here. You are not a authorized person to create it here. Why? Because you are not the authorized person, right? That's why you are getting this error here. Why? Because it's not your scope. So suppose in case if you get the this type of work here, so what we will do? Let me. Okay, so now, so I logged in with the different user. I'm using the SU01 transaction code. Using the SU01 transaction code, we can create the bulk users creation. So suppose like I'm going to create a one user name is called the, so one user, suppose like Ravi user, I'm going to create it here, right? Just click on the create button here. So here the basic details we have to fill it here. What is the so what is the title we have to provide it here, right? So then what is the last name? So last name and first name, all the details here. What is the email ID? We have to provide it here. Mobile number, email ID, fax, all the details here. So go to the address, so log on data. So here we can type the what is this user type here. So in the users creation, we have the five types of users types are there. Five types of users here. Dialog user, system user, communications user, reference user, service user. So the person who wants to log in from SAP GUI to SAP system through dialog mode. So dialog process will pick up, right? That's why that user is called the dialog user, which means humans. Humans are the dialog users. We have the password. We can log into the, so here we can do the all the activities here. So we are the humans here. So that's why dialog user, system user, service user, communication here types of users are there here. So we can use this one to perform the activities here, right? Dialog system, communications, and service users are there here. So dialog user means you will log in with the user. So Ravi is the dialog user. Suppose system user means so system level activities like background jobs in RFC communications. This users that time we will create the user. Why? Because these users there is no password expiry and we can maintain in the background jobs here. So they will not log into the, so this user will not log in from SAP. Why? Because background jobs level we will maintain this user. So right. So that's why we have the users types here. User types here. Dialog user communication, there are the types of users are there here, right? So that is the dialog users here. Total actually five types of users here. You can see five types of users here. Dialog user and system user. System user means used for background processing, communication with the system, RFCs, ALE, TMS, CUA. So all the things here, see, the system user will be used here. Then service user here. Next one you see, the third one is the communication user. Sorry, communication user for communicating to the, so some of the installed data sources. So does not suitable for some of the communication types here. Communicating, connecting to the some of the other systems, data sources for that one. We will use the communication user here. So right. So then reference user here. Reference user. Reference user means here the user used to copy a template for new users here. So, so reference user means suppose one manager is there, is going on leave. So that user is reference to the one more, he can delegate these roles and responsibilities to the one more person. He can delegate it, approval procedure and everything. He can delegate it here. So reference user so can be assigned to the dialog users in the roles tab here. Right? So that he can perform the while that person comes, he can perform that related activities in the system, same authorizations, manager level access he has, then he can perform the his duties, he can perform it here. Suppose one manager is going on long vacation, right? So, but so in meanwhile, is any employees is up, he leaves approved or any pending, he cannot approve it. He is going to the remote area. So that time he can delegate his responsibilities roles to the some other lead or some other the subordinate. He can delegate it so that while he is returning back, he can take the responsibility. That time called the reference user. So login is not possible here, reference user. Only same level authorizations will come. The next one is the service user. Service user can be used for the dialogue-free communication for external RFC calls, not the internal RFC calls, external RFC calls. So group of users, anonymous. So those purpose we will use service level. External service level, we will maintain the user that is called the service user. System level we will maintain, we will call the system user, but most frequently user is the dialog user here. So here we need to set the password for that user here. What is the user? So you need to set the password for that user here, right? We need to set it out. So some. So then your validity from and to, so from which date to which date, so from today to from which date to which date is be validated. So which means we can also set the validity from and to. So suppose he should up to 3 o'clock only, up to third, only one day access you are giving. You are providing all those things here. So then, so here address, logon data, and the security, the roles are important. Which type of role? What is the user you are creating? Ravi user here. So what type of activities he is going to perform, right? So those roles you have to assign to the user here. What type of activities you are going to perform? He is going to perform. If you don't assign the roles, what will happen? Only user creation you have done it here. Now, right? You just save it. Just save it here. Ravi user you created. Just save it here. Right? User is user you created here. So now let's log into the Ravi user will perform the activities here. Let's see. Logging automatically. Let me take the automatically signing in. Because in the browser level automatically signing in here. Let me open the another browser. Mhm. Okay. Here Ravi and the initial password you can use it here. Right. So new password, current password, the new password. You done it. You are able to log in with the Ravi user now. See here, Ravi user, you logged in now. Now let's type. So one of the simple transaction code SM50. Correct. You are unable to log in with the SM50 also. SM51, no. Right? SICK, no. Nothing. You are unable to log in. Why? Because only only user got created. Only user got created, which means only user got created, but there are no roles are assigned. No roles are assigned here. Only user got created, no roles are assigned here, which means just user authenticated is done, but you cannot access any data here. So if you assign the role, you can access the all the transactions here. So that is the reason. So our SAP, the role based concept, based upon the role only you can access the different type of things. We can access it in the SAP systems here. So here, so PFCG is the transaction code here. So they can create the roles here. We can create the roles here. We mean security team will create the role here. So suppose like basis role they are creating. They are the so we can create the role PFCG in the transaction code. We can create the role. Go to the menu, go to the menu here. So here what you want to assign the transaction code. Suppose freshers. So you need the SM50 transaction code, right? You need the SM51 transaction code. You need the ST22 transaction code, right? You need the SM21 transaction code. So like that you are assigning the all the transactions to the so freshers, right? Why? Because you are not giving the wider wise access. All the transaction code you are giving assigning the things to the here role you created here. Just click on the save button, right? Click on the save button here. Role you created, then then now we have to assign the authorization. So even though you assigned the list of transaction codes to access, but whether you can only display the role or whether you can only access the role, what you want to do, only display or you can also make the changes. Then in this case, go to the authorizations data. This is a small confusing topic. Okay, this is the small confusing topic, guys. Why? Because it's a some law object level we need to do the some authorization, so you no need to go in deeply. It's not required for us to do all those things here, right? So you are assigning the full authorizations or all the authorizations. Full authorizations you want to assign, just assign the full authorizations. Just click on the save button. So then save, data saved, go back, then generate. Okay, authorization is also green. So which means you can access anything from the system here. So now assign this role to the directly to the Ravi user here, Ravi user, right? Assign this from here also we can assign it, or go to the PF SU01. There also you can assign it here, right? So green, all are green status. A workflow is not that much of required here. So now just you can ask Ravi to perform the some activities here. Ravi to perform the some activities. He can perform. Now he is able to access the transaction codes. Right now he is able to access the transaction codes in the system here. Right, sir. Now previously we faced the multiple issues now. So everything is working fine. So what is means? So you assigned the role you assigned here, a role you assigned here. That's why you are able to perform. But SICF transaction code I have not assigned. That's why I'm facing this issue. But only thing is, so whatever the roles you have, right? SOST, no, right? SMICM, ST22, I can able to access, right? Today, I think why lot of dumps are there in the system. 35,000. What is this? Shared memory related things. Oh, but wait. See here, dumps, shared memory related dumps here. Who will fix the issues? Shared memory related things. Feel free to fix the issues. So how, why I am able to perform now? Why not previously means role you created, just fresher role you created, you assigned only few specific transactions only, right? Then only that's why you are able to create the so things here. You are able to create the things here. So that's why the basic thing is here, the user's creation, the roles means PFCG. Then you need go to the menu, you need to assign the transactions or Fury or BW related things, or what you want to restrict. You want to give the what you want to assign to this role. So security team will do that one. Whenever there is a implementation project, initial thing, whenever we build the system, we have to give the system to them. They will start creating the all the roles here. They will start creating the all the roles. They will segregate it here. So freshers, this role we have to assign. Then so administrator, this role we have to assign them. Like that, they will create the multiple roles. They will create it. They will assign to the respective users. So that so he can only perform whatever they have assigned in the role. He can only perform these things here, right? Users authorization. He can only perform the related things. He can perform it in the systems, right? So that is the one thing here we can see here, right? That is the one thing. So apart from that, so also apart from that, we can also like multiple users also we can create it here. If we go to the SU10 transaction code, there are the multiple users here, like basis one. So like multiple users also we can that is for the previous at a time 100 members have joined. Then how to create the users to the them at a time here, right? Yeah. So basis one, basis three. How to create the n number of trans users here. Then click on the create button here. Then so what is the user type, what is the group, what is the passwords, you need to set anything. Otherwise just click on the execute but save button. Automatically system will generate the passwords here. See here, automatically system also got generated the passwords here. So this is a password. Users are so 4 users are created at a time and password also generated for them, right? Password also generated for them as well. So they can log in with this password. They can log in with this password. They can log in, right? So, but roles you have to assign it here. Roles we have to assign to the users in the systems, right? So like that, mass user creation. Mass user creation means so SU10, right? Single user creation. SU01. If the user is locked, then you can also unlock the users here. we go to the 01, there the user is locked. Lock the user. We can lock the user here, locked by the administrators. You can see here, we go to the display. So then you will see the your user is locked. Means we cannot log into the system. If a user is locked, we cannot log into the system. It should be unlocked status. Then come to here, put the username, click on the unlock, then unlock it. User got unlocked here. So if you want to change the password of the user, you can change the password of the user also. We can change it here. If you want to delete, we can delete it. If you want to copy, create, change, whatever you want, you can do it from here. Right? So there is a EWZ5 is the transaction code. Normally, this is for the so locking the users, mass locking the users here. So mass locking the all the users here. See, they are the users called the yeah, there are a lot of users here. So this is for the mass locking the users here, right? So locking all the use so HR related, GRC related, all the users are there here. So what we can do, if you just click on the lock, all users will be locked. If you unlock, all users will be unlocked. So then admin block, all users will be admin flag, it will be locked here. So that is also we can perform it in the systems here. That is also we can perform it, mass user locking and unlocking here, right? So apart from that PFCG, the roles creation, role will tell you what activities you have to perform and all those things here, role, right? So role and authorization. So specific that role, what specific T code you need, only display access, you need only change access, you need approval access, what required, that is the authorizations will tell you, right? In the security, we have the user, role, and authorizations concept here. The three concepts you should know about this one. The basic thing is how to create the users, how to reset the passwords, mass user. So some basic concepts you should require. That's why if you remember all those things, this is the very important thing here. Also, you should remember about the how to find the correct authorization objects here. Suppose authorization field, authorization objects, all the transaction codes will come like SU. So SU10. So not the SU10. Field maintenance, all those things. It does not require in detailed way. You don't require all those things in detailed way. Organization level, plant level, company level, there are a lot of so authorizations we can maintain it. So you don't require that much of things here. So why? Because you will get confused. Why? Because we are a basis consultant. You don't require much things here. So we are a basis consultants here. Okay. So here
Will
FE01
you show Ravi how to add the objects but
authorization objects, right?
yeah.
Yeah, go to the PFCG. Suppose this is the role. This is the role. Go to the authorization, change the authorization data. Okay, authorization data. So suppose you want to assign the some other different authorizations here, right? So uh, there is a manual. Where is the manual? Manual. There is yeah manually. So here, what is the authorization object you want to assign to the here? So what is the authorization objects? So like C underscore. So suppose like authorization object. First of all, you should know about the authorization object about the each and every transaction code. Every transaction code, there is a authorization object, right? So you should know about the transaction code authorization object here. So here there is a specific transaction codes to find out the authorization object here. So that is like let me show you.
In SU53 we can check.
That is SC53 is for the authorization errors we can find out. What are the authorization errors you have in the system that we can find out. So that is we can find out the authorization errors. So that is the SC53 is for the authorization error. There is a SC20 or 21 both. We can find out the authorization authorization object here. Ah, there is a table also. I'm trying to recollect. SU21, I guess. SU2021, yes. Yeah, here authorization objects we can find out here authorization, what is the authorization object for each class. So there are a lot of things we can find out. But directly, if you enter the transaction code, you will get the thing here. Let me check in SU20. Yeah, authorization objects. So here, so transaction code wise also we can find out the authorization objects. So this is different. This is a field name based upon the field name. The transaction code wise, you will get the thing here. Mm. Here you need to type the transaction code. So which transaction code? The transaction code related authorization objects. If you go to SC22 or 24, here suppose ST22. Okay, ST22. Here ST22 related authorization object, right? Here you can see the ST22. These all are the related authorization objects for ST22 here, right? So here system authorization. So this is the object, correct object. We need to check this one here. This is the yes, right? This is the proposal status yes. So this is the one we need to assign to the users here, right? Go back and suppose you need ST SM20 SM51. So this is the transaction code here. So this transaction code related things here, system authorizations only, right? So that is the one thing here. Go back and suppose you need the SMICM. So then what is the authorization objects for this transaction code? Same ADMA underscore FST, right? So just to go back, you need the SICF transaction code. So what is the authorization objects here, right? So this is the authorization objects. So no, but here see it is the yes. So this is the ICF underscore admin, right? ICF underscore admin is the transaction code here, S underscore ICF admin. So now what you can do here, go to the, so SU01 PFCG, then here the, so this user, we don't have any, so authorize any SICF transaction code as access, right? SICF transaction code access, we don't have any SICF transaction code access. So for the Ravi user. So what I'm doing here I'm going to add the authorizations data. This transaction code I'm going to give it to the users here. So click on the, so here manually add this authorization objects, ICF data, right? So here what you are going to do, activity, what activities you are going to do, full authorization. This is the one. So you want to create the authorization, only display authorization, only delete activation, or activation also you required, or full authorizations. So just you can maintain the all the full authorizations. So what is the host name? You can maintain the star. So what is the service you want to do? You can just maintain the star. So are not required. So ICF service, what is the service you want to activate? So all full authorizations just maintain. So just save it, right? So go back. It will ask the generate the authorization data, then generate, right? So just click on the save button. It's done, right? So now you can access, now you can ask user to access the, so transaction, just log out and log in, you can able to access the transaction code here, right? SICF transaction code, you can access the transaction code now in the system here. Just
Ravi, if you want to release this request, then
we want to release
the request.
the transport request, right?
Mm.
Yeah, there is a option to create the transports. So or just we can just take this role in the menu. Normally here we are unable to see, but there is a transport truck icon. So which means this role you can add to the transport truck transports, you can add it here. Otherwise manually also go to here. So go to the SE01. So then click on the create the request here. Create the request. Role transport. R3 TR. R3 TR. What is the role related object here? Role. So yeah, role, object name, the role name, then save it. Okay, content is saved here. Then go back. So you have saved the object here. The role you have saved here in the transport request. Just release the transport request. So where is the release directly? Yes. Release the transport request. Then we can import to the other systems. This is the role transports, roles. So other systems you no need to create it here. Just import this role. That's enough. Okay, it's done. Okay, so this is done. This way we can transport to the other systems as well. Okay, so here main thing is you need to remember about the not the pure security related. The only thing is how to create the users, how to unlock, how to lock the user, how to delete the user, how to reset the password, mass user creations, roles creation. So general things you should remember. That's it. You know, because anyhow we will not get the security related thing. We have a separate security team for every organization. They will take care of that one. So that's the reason you need to so carefully do this one. Okay, just to practice it. So I will let you know once the maybe in the next 2 to 3 hours systems will be up. I will let you know so that you guys can do the practice. Okay. So thing is here.